Hi everyone, I'm Sue of Bend and Stretch with Sue. Today I'd like to talk to you about a facial lymphatic massage. As a yoga teacher, Pilates teacher, as well as being certified to do Thai massages, lymphatic drainage work is really a key part of those practices, really getting that lymph flowing since we don't have an actual pump that moves the lymph through our body, and it is an essential key in supporting a healthy immune system because the lymphatic system helps us to rid our bodies of toxins. So as I demonstrate some simple techniques today that you can use, and we're going to focus simply on the face, neck area today, and most important is to have well cleansed hands since we will be touching our faces for this. So beginning by taking the fingers and just applying the lightest pressure along the side of the head. So such a soft pressure, it would be equivalent to placing your fingertip on a quarter, sliding it across a table. So just that ease of pressure, and lightly moving the fingers alongside the head and just coming behind the ears as you let the fingers move down toward the neck, toward the clavicles. So repeating this procedure about anywhere from 3 to 10 times. So for the sake of brevity, I'm going to simply do this a few times and then move on to the next area. So as we move along, so you could do this as many as 10 times, but moving on to the next technique, we're going to take the fingertips and just bring them in toward the centers of the palm. So you just have the nice flat area of the hands here, and placing it right along the outside of the nose, underneath the eyes, and applying the softest rolling method to bring the pressure to the outer fingers. So starting with the pinkies and moving inward toward the index fingers as you roll through. So it's just a nice easy rolling technique. This is really great for helping to rid the face of any puffiness that might accumulate in this area. Really great for getting the flow of sinus fluid moving so that it can relieve pressure, relieving headaches and all that excessive puffiness that comes from perhaps the way that we're eating, what we're drinking, consuming. So from here, following that, you can come back to the fingertips alongside of the face and moving them up and back behind the ears, and then moving down toward the collarbones. So again, you can repeat this anywhere from 3 to 10 times. And going into the next technique, we're going to take the index fingers now and bend them both. So now again, you're using the flat portion just below the middle knuckle, and you're going to place the fingers right along the sides of the bridge of the nose, and then gently moving the backs of the fingers along the eyebrow line, so just slightly below the eyebrows, and moving outward. So we always want to be moving outward as we apply that easy, light pressure. So it's very feather-like. The lymph nodes are very close to the surface, so close to the skin. And that's why we want to make sure that we're applying the lightest bit of pressure. But this is also really great for getting the blood flow to the area. And some say that these techniques are also not only helpful for the drainage of fluid, reducing puffiness, but they can also help to improve skin conditions such as acne, perhaps even some wrinkling, which we all want to get some extra help in that department. And once again, once you've repeated this anywhere from 3 to 10 times, you can either go back to fingertips alongside the face and come back to that movement right along the back of the ears and down toward the neck. So again, repeating this anywhere from 3 to 10 times. You might even do a couple of the techniques before moving on to do that draining alongside the face and back of the ears toward the neck. So moving on to the forehead, now again, still using that flat portion of the fingers, the knuckles, we're going to place the middle knuckles to meet right at the center of the forehead. So above the eyebrow line this time, and gently moving outward. So again, if the skin turns red, it might mean that you're applying a bit too much pressure. So make sure to keep it nice and light. This is one of my favorite techniques. Now, there are several, so if you do decide to explore this further and take a look on some of the videos that are offered on YouTube, some of the literature that you might find on the internet as well. There are different techniques. Some of them are more milking techniques as far as how to stimulate and really promote the flow of that lymph to help you with the drainage. So again, repeating this anywhere from 3 to 10 times, and then either moving on to that fingertips alongside the face and then around the backs of the ears. Again, you can skip and you might do a couple of techniques and then move on to that draining down toward the neck. So moving on, taking the index fingers this time, we'll place them right to the outside of the bridge of the nose and then moving them down along toward the outsides of the lips. So again, it's very, very light touch. And you might even feel as you're doing these techniques starting to feel some draining going on in the back of the throat. We might find yourself swallowing more as you continue to move through these techniques. So again, taking the fingertips along the side of the face and bringing them back behind the ears and down toward the collarbones. So a few repetitions of this method. And finally, we'll bring the index fingers and bringing the hands together, kind of as if you're framing the sides of the nose. You might even bring the tips of the fingers together here as you place your thumbs right underneath the jaw. And as you bring those fingertips together, gently sliding them apart. Now, if you find that your face is rather dry, you could very well use these techniques with an oil, maybe some coconut oil, or even some skincare serums would be a really nice way to get them to absorb, and it would give the hands much more glide as you bring the hands across your face. So you want to be able to keep the touch light, and having those oils or serums might be the perfect vehicle as well, helping to really let yourself absorb those oils or those products into the skin. So as you finish up this technique, bring those fingers alongside the face, down back behind the ears again, moving through this as many times as you like, but you want to do it at least 3 to 10 times. So anywhere in there, more if you like, and just taking your time, moving light, moving smoothly. And finally, the very last procedure is to take the middle finger, the index finger, and we're just going to bring them across the chest, or the wrist across over the chest as you take the fingertips, and you're just using the pad of the finger here and just placing it lightly right where the clavicles, there's a bit of a hollow here, and you're going to place the pads of the fingers and gently drag the fingers along toward the center. So this helps to bring that drainage that we've brought outward and back down into the neck. This helps to move it into the body where the lymph can continue down into the body for further detoxification. So from here, again, you are going to want to repeat this the same amount of times. So you might even pause as you move across. So starting right towards the shoulder, so right at the end of the clavicle, and just pausing for a count of 1, 2, 3, bring it back toward the center, about halfway toward the sternum, pausing here for 1, 2, 3, and bringing it in right where the other hollow of the clavicle is, and pausing for 1, 2, 3. So as you start out to the end, nice pause, light pressure for 1, 2, 3, to the center, 1, 2, 3, and all the way in, 1, 2, 3. Or you could just continue with your gliding motion if you prefer that. So that's all for today, folks. I really appreciate your time. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll be offering more videos that can be helpful, ranging from yoga practices and some Pilates videos as well, and all about supporting your wellness. So thanks again for joining me. Namaste.